What's up guys, Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review, and if you guys are watching this means set 17 embargo just dropped, which means I can share everything and anything about my set 17 playtest experience here. Had an absolute blast playtesting this set, super fun. I will explain as much as I can as we go through the game. I'm not gonna be able to get to every single trait, every single mechanic, all this kind of stuff, but I'm gonna explain as much as I can here, and we're actually gonna start with this because this is actually quite relevant to how I play the game. So this is Stargazers. Stargazers is like a combination of something like Ionia or Mirage, something that changes every single game, and something like KDA or Street Demon in the past that empowers these hexes. It's really cool. So this one, it's called the Huntress. At combat start, you mark the highest health enemies, and then the allies in the hexes get 15% AS, and then Stargazers gain more, and they heal for 10% of their max HP when a marked enemy dies. So you get to mark up all these enemies, get a bunch of AS here, and then heal when marked enemies die. But, you know, you may have a Stargazer. I had one in the playtest that was called, like, the Serpent that makes your units actually, like, deal poison damage, which is really cool. And then all of these do have this kind of, you know, KDA effect where they have all these different hexes that they all light up. It's really cool the first time you play it. We also just feel the Dark Star here. Dark Star is a really cool trait. You can see on the left side of the board there, it creates this black hole, and any unit that drops to 10% HP gets executed by the black hole, which is so cool. Just a really nice splash 2 trait. You're always, I feel like, gonna want to splash 2 Dark Star just so that you can get that execute. So first augment here, Crafting Pandora's Carvapanth. I don't think I was really that excited about any of these in this position here. I don't know, maybe like Pandora's or something. I do get this new augment called Kickstart, which gives you a 2-star 2 cost and 1 gold. And I'm like, that's pretty juicy for a silver augment. And I get a Gragas here, who is a brawler, so I can play him on this board. And my board is actually coming together quite nicely. I hit the Lysandra too as well. She is this Dark Star replicator. She's also a Shepherd, which I don't know if we get to, but that's the summon trait this set. One of my favorite summon traits in a while. It is a really cool summon, and so I'm gonna slam the Gargoyle here onto the Gragas, and yeah, just try to play strongest board here in this spot. Rotate into this guy who has a big dummy, by the way. I think it might be called Tesla Coil, but it's this augment that creates a big dummy and then it zaps you like a big Tesla tower that goes zzz. You guys ever play like Bloons Tower Defense or something like that? That's what it makes me think of here. Get a Twisted Fate too, just gonna play him. He is a Stargazer Fate Weaver, neither of which I have on board. Stargazer we talked about already, but Fate Weaver is a really interesting trait where all of the Fate Weaver units have a lucky effect, is the way that it works essentially. So you can see TF, every time he casts, he rolls one of these cards here. So that 2 is what he rolled this time. This time he rolls a 9 here, which is actually huge because if he gets that 9 off, he farms a gold. And then if you add more of those guys, more Fate Weavers, you get better chances on those lucky effects. TF, I think, is like actually broken. I hope they changed him from playtest because this guy was farming so much gold for a 1 cost. It was completely unreasonable. But we will see as we go further on. I do also want to say, before I continue to get sidetracked on Carousel here, thank you to all the kind comments on my last video announcing me going full-time TFT. This is probably the last video I'm going to record in my work outfit. I'm in my work polo shirt here because I came back from work, but starting tomorrow, no more polos, only I was gonna say something really out of pocket. Let's not do all that. Okay, this is the set mechanic. If you have not seen this, choose your god wisely. The way that this works is you get to pick a choice here. Instead of Carousel, you get this choice of either picking one of the gods here. And you will see it's a little bugged out with the names here. This is, I believe, yeah, this is Evelyn and Asol. So just look at the images, don't look at these, but this was bugged a little bit in playtest. But you can either go down the path of, you know, the Evelyn god and like worship that god, which in this situation is just giving us a random component and a tier here, or I can go down the Aurelian Soul path. Asol is all about these like really hard traits to complete, but if you do complete them, you get really good rewards. So here he has kind of a mini trait tracker, just fields 6 non-unique traits, and then you get a random emblem and a reforger, and then he also has a glove attached. So the glove, the tier, these are attached to which side we pick, and we'll see later in the game what having you know, a lot of kind of devotion to a god not, if you're always going ASOL, what that actually ends up meaning for you. It's pretty cool, honestly. I really like this trait. It's very reminiscent of like Hades. If you guys, ever played that, I feel like they took a lot of inspiration from that. But I mean, Hades is a fantastic game, so I don't mind them doing that whatsoever here. We are going to level up here and fit the Maokai onto the board here, and the Pantheon here actually is going to come in for 4 Brawler and Replicator here, which Replicator, maybe you should be afraid, maybe you shouldn't. Replicator is like mage or multicaster, where these units do double cast their abilities. So I don't know. Anytime anyone sees a new multicaster trait, I think they are brought back to the super broken multicaster of the past. Hopefully we won't see something like that this set, but we will see here. Opt to make the 20 gold here because I'm on a win streak. My board's pretty good for now. And yeah, I'm happy with what we got going on here. And yeah, I mean, it's just a nice opener that we can play into here, doing a bit of scouting around the rest of the lobby, see what other people got going on. But yeah, this person actually has Anima on their board with Tiniest Titan. Anima is the Lost Streak cash out trait of the set. Very reminiscent of stuff like Underground or Chemtech. Chem Baron, where you can Lost Streak, you can double down, get more stuff. They have specific items that you can get from them. But the kind of interesting wrinkle in this is that you can put the items on anyone. It's not like it farms Chem Baron items, those only go on Chem Barons. It farms the Anima items, you can throw those onto anybody. So like a more flexible version of Chem Baron is, I think, the way to think about the trait, which is, it's pretty cool, honestly. I like it a lot. We do find the Mighty Mech here, which is like a Mecha Galio. I don't think he really fits on the board right now, but Mecha is a really cool trait where all of the mechas, you can, you basically get a little like Mecha selector, and you can put it on them to change, to transform them into basically like a dragon or a colossus. They take up 2 slots. They upgrade their ability, so they change their ability. The transformed Galio has a different ability than the regular Galio, and they count for 2 mech in their trait. So really cool, just like actual like straight up Transformers, if you guys are into that. It's actually sick. Nova we'll talk about. This is one of my favorite new traits of the set. Plot armor, tons of stats, know your enemy. I mean, I guess plot armor is like fine with this setup. I wouldn't be mad about taking Econ here, but I do also see Thorn plated here, and I have a really big tanky Gragas. Thorn plated is going to be really nice here. So easy pickup for me, and my board is going to continue to be very strong here. So Nova here, I don't think I've hovered it yet, but this is one of my favorite traits of the new set. It's like a guild where the Nova units provide a specific, bonus where I believe it is, but it's not just stats. It's an actual effect. So Maokai has this effect where your units heal 15% of their HP. Atrox, his Nova effect is your units get shred and sunder. And these apply to your entire board. So they do proc at 6 seconds in combat. You have to wait until 6 seconds to proc them. But what's happening right now is with Maokai and Atrox on the board, at 6 seconds in combat, my entire board is healing 15% of their HP and gaining shred and sunder on, I think it's everything. It's either all abilities or just straight up everything, which is actually insane. This feels to me like one of the best splash traits. You can field Akali, and she gives your units precision, which is the new name for essentially like spell crit. Your unit spells can crit is now called precision. So I mean, just such a cool trait, honestly, and really cool that you can kind of mix and match stuff. All right, so here's our second chance at picking a god here. We have the random component from Evelyn, or we have the star request. Next time you star up a champion, gain 10 gold here. And some interesting stuff starts to happen the further you go down these, because you realize, like, if I want a bow, then I might have to go down the ASOL quest and do a quest that I don't necessarily want to do. Or, maybe if I really want this glove, I just have to deal with the fact that I'm taking a random component here. I think I end up taking random component plus glove here, because I think there's a lot of stuff that I can potentially slam here. And I do take the Cho'Gath. You can see there that there are, Carousel is replaced by the units that you, or the gods that you kind of pray to here, but it's also replaced in the unit that you get by just picking a unit out of that armory. There is some comeback mechanic there where the people who are loose streaking get better units. So you saw me, I got offered some 1 cost, not that great stuff. The people in the last place, similar to stage 3 carousel would have had the ability to pick up something like a 4 cost that is actually semi-tailored to your board, which is really, really cool. There's probably, now that I think about it, I didn't really think about it that much during playtest, but there's probably a lot that you can do as far as tailoring your board for specific 4 costs that you want. That'll definitely be one of the first things that we probably have to figure out as far as like maybe hidden rules go here. You did see as well that I got the 6 trait in here, and so I picked up Voyager emblem off my ASOL quest here. This is one of these cool emblems that gives your adjacent allies stuff, so you can get AS or Armor and MR. And Voyager is very similar to like Strategist of the past. I don't know if I'm going to hover over it, but it gives all your tanky units it's a shield, and then it gives your damage units, I believe it's damage amp. So it's one of those similar units, similar traits that buffs up your entire board. As you kind of listen to me talking through all this, I think you will probably get the sense, and I certainly got the sense playing in this playtest, that they want this to be a very flexible set, right? They want all of these units to be able to come in minute match, play the 2 Nova, play the 2 Dark Star, play the 1 Space Groove that we have on this board, which we can talk about as well. But it's actually such a flexible set, which I really, really, really like. We should have actually not wasted our remover here to move items over to our Meowkai frontline, but that's fine. I screwed up a little bit, my bad here, but it's all good here. We can move the TG over to Gragas, have a pretty good spot there, and I think I do just make Guardbreaker, Shojin, Declaw here just to go for the triple slam, and Bramble Declaw. I mean, these are fantastic slams here, put us into a really good spot item-wise here. Do rotate into the Giga Diana here with this Crown of Demacia here that I think just ends up murdering my entire board, which is kind of sad because I had a really nice win streak going, but that is a very, very strong Diana just clearing through my board here. Last Augment, I mean, in a spot like this, you gotta take Call to Chaos, right? I wanted to see if there are any like new Call to Chaoses. I don't believe this is a new one, the Radiant Lucky Item Chest, but it is something that we could certainly go for here. I have to take Damage Item, and I end up taking Radiant Void Staff with the idea that I'm like, okay, we're kind of good on a lot of this stuff. I could take Radiant Morello, but I don't know. Radiant Void Staff was kind of calling to me in this spot here, so I opt to take that. It's a lot of AP, but not that much mana gen. So actually, do I just go? Yeah, I think I do just do this because it's kind of like, if you do anything else, if you put the Shojin JG there, then the Guardbreaker is kind of on its own. So I just throw this here and have a list that's going to take a while to cast. But when she does cast, she's going to do a lot of damage. And yeah, I mean, at this point, we're cruising pretty hard. Rotate into that Anima player had 400 stacks, which is pretty high. So definitely something that we're going to have to watch out for as this game continues on. But yeah, not too much else going on besides that. Bastion is Bastion, obviously, just classic tank that gives you Arm to Mar and gives your entire team some as well. So definitely some reprints in the set, as they always do, which is nice, I think, to just kind of help you. Usually the frontline traits, I don't need some kind of like crazy new trait, just, solid enough frontline traits I am happy with here. And after this fight, we are about to go into our last Worship of the Gods here, 4-4. Level quest on ASOL is so good because, I mean, I'm already going fast 9 in this spot, so I might as well take it. This is something that I think is going to really develop as we get further onto the set, is saying, okay, it's an ASOL game. I already know the ASOL path has a, if you hit level 9, get 20 gold quest. And there are multiple ASOL quests as far as I understand it. I've definitely seen different ones on the stage 2 one. I don't know if, I feel like on stage 4, I almost always, I feel like I always saw the go level 9, get 20 gold one, but there might be some other ones. But I think it's going to be a really crucial skill this set to, familiarize yourself with, okay, ASOL is one of my options here. What can I get from ASOL? I know that I can, maybe go fast 9 this game because I know I'm going to get the plus 20 gold. I'm essentially getting a mini, that fast 9 augment, the silver one. I forget what it's called. Comment down below with what that augment is called. Late game specialist. Don't comment down. Okay, still comment down below. If you commented before I said that, I owe you $100. And I won't even fact check it. So just invoice me and I'll send it over to your account or to RP or Metafy credit, whatever you want, really. I think it's, fair game, honestly. I'm full-time now, so I'm just going to start giving money. I'm going to go Mr. Beast mode, I think. Every single person watching this video, I'm going to give you a free Lamborghini. All right. We win our fight here, 79 gold here, 68 HP here. Here is the last piece of the set mechanic, which is the God's Blessing round. This is essentially a treasure dragon. Where you see here, we have the option to take gold and a chain vest here. If we rolled this, we might see, 3 item components instead of the gold and the chain vest. These first few slots usually just roll between gold and components. I don't think they can be anything else. But this 4th slot here is exclusive to the God that we've worshipped this game. We get Aurelian Soul's Trial here, which is another augment that we basically stack on, like a 4th augment here. Aurelian Souls is actually really, really unique, where you actually get to pick a quest here. So you can get just a flat 15 AD and AP on your whole board, pretty good. You can get after 3 player combats, gain a completed item anvil and gain 30 gold. Or you can say, I'm really confident after 8 player combats, I'm going to gain +1 to all non-unique traits. Now, 8 player combats means you need to survive until 6-5 to get this cashed. However, if you do, you essentially win the game. Now, I'm a coward, so I just take the middle one, mostly because I did take the ASOL, the kind of Wokch one earlier, and I had a bad time of it, so I said, you know what, I'm not going to do that. But all good. Maybe someday I'll go for the cash out here. But yeah, we're going to just roll down here, look for some big upgrades on this board here. We find Bard, who is a really, really, really cool unit. He is, as you will see, this like space Bard skin where he tries to like abduct the enemy units, essentially. Sona's a really cool 5 cost where you can see here, I hover this little upgrade. Sona, every round, that you have Sona in, you get one of these little upgrades that you can just place on a unit. So let me hover it. There we go. So this makes your unit burn, wound, and chill off their attacks. So really, really, really cool mod here. And you can just put this on top of any items. And then every 2 rounds, she will kind of make a new mod. And then you can move those around as you want. So she's a really nice splash unit. Speaking of flexibility and splashes this set, my God, thank you, Riot Games. Shout out to Riot. It's Blue Cove is her Riot name. Noemi, the set lead of this set. I met her at Paris, and she said, is there anything that you want in the new set? And I said, make the 5 costs flexible like they are in set 16. That is such a fantastic part of set 16. And they're flexible this set, so I'm pretty sure I single-handedly made that change. So you guys can thank me, honestly. The 5 costs are so flexible. Sona is flexible. The Morgana that we picked up just sitting on bench here, she is a Dark Lady. That is her only trait. She is super, super flexible. Shen that we're fielding right now is flexible. You can see he summons this sword. This sword gives your team HP and attack speed. And yeah, you can actually see me hovering Voyager there, so you can see, yeah, it is shield and damage amp. And yeah, it is tanks and fighters versus backliners. So it's cool that they kind of do this, not by positioning, but by their actual like role here. I want to pick up Karma here, so I throw her in. The idea with Karma is she is a Voyager, this kind of strategist type trait, and she's a Dark Star here, so I can fit Dark Star that way. And then I do also want to play Meeple. Meeple is one of my favorite new traits. It's kind of a it's like a Battle Academia or a AMP was the name of the other trait, where they get these little meeps that empower their abilities, and it also gives them some HP. Also, you can see here, really interesting, on 7, it basically summons like a Hui Hex, where you can like paint units. It's actually like really, really, really cool. So fantastic trait there. I also do throw Meepsy into my planner, which definitely my favorite unit of the set, Meepsy. I hope we do find Meepsy at some point in this game, because Riot Games, they've done it again. These units are just so fun and so cool. Here's another really cool new thing that they added to the game, is that because we no longer have carousels, obviously you worship on the earlier carousels. In this later carousel here, instead of doing the worship, you just get the option to take any of 3 items, some gold, or you can risk it all and go for another completed item anvil and try to get something else. So what I really like about this is in positions where you don't need more items. You can just take the gold, or, you know, you can use this to itemize, you know, specifically a unit that you want. I really just like the gold being an option here, just because that wasn't really an option that we had in the past. And so I get Shojin here for my Sona off one anvil, and then I get the Crown Guard off the other anvil. I throw Poppy in, who is both a Meeple Bastion, with the idea that, you know, maybe she can fit on this board, though I think I also neglected to think about that I should just always play Rammus because he's a Meeple Bastion and obviously a better one. I haven't talked about Bard's ability, but it's really, really cool. He does this little flying saucer that does damage over time, and then when he kills units, you can see he abducts them and brings them back to your bench, kind of like that that old Morgana 5 cost that she was like a witchcraft Morgana, Magic and Mayhem, where she would like abduct units with her bats. Same kind of idea from Bard, but with his little flying saucer, which is just such a cute and cool ability. One of the things that I just love about this set is the units. I feel like they nailed the unit design on so many of them. They did a teaser for LeBlanc, who I didn't get to play around this game. Her ability is so cool, where she summons 5 clones that just go pew, 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 pew. And she's this like AP attack speed style carry. Just really, really, really sick here. I do get an interesting shop here with his Blitzcrank 2 in it. Blitz is a really interesting unit where he doesn't really buff your team up at all, but he is a party animal, which is kind of similar to like Set, where he like drops below a certain amount of HP and then does kind of like sit-ups essentially. I don't know that I end up playing him this game. Maybe I do actually. Maybe I do end up playing him here. I mean, a Blitz 2 is a Blitz 2. So the Elder Dragon, this was a little buggy. I don't know. According to a Rioter, this is intended. But what can happen is when you fight Elder Dragon with Bard, Bard can abduct the Elder Dragon with his ability here. So that's what ends up happening is Bard abducts the Elder Dragon, puts it here. I was having trouble clicking on it to try to field it. I don't really know. I saw some people in my games fielding this Elder Dragon, but I don't actually know. I tried to zoom in to try to click it, but I wasn't able to actually click it. So I don't 100% know if it's... if this is going to make it to PvE or live, but I mean, really, really fun for now. I mean, worst case, you have a really cool Elder Dragon on your bench, so we can pick that up. And yeah, this is kind of how we're going to start capping out our board. Is the way that you're going to cap out your board a lot this set is with really cool 5 costs, and then, you know, whatever flex strong traits you can fit in, stuff like Dark Star. You can see I also have Jhin on bench here. Jhin, a really, really, really cool 5 cost. I do find the Poppy, which... honestly, I don't know why I did this. I forgot that Rammus and Poppy have the same traits. And then I end up playing my Meeple is Meepsy here, who I end up fielding. Meepsy, this little like blue buff with an alien inside of it. I mean, just such a cool design, such a cute design, and just so one of those times where the TFT team just knocks it out of the park, just comes up with like a completely new idea for a unit when they need one, and it's just so cool, so cute. Great name. I kept tilting Disco TFT. We were chatting in voice call when we were playing the playtest, and I was like, Meepsy, Meepsy, Meepsy. And he was like, shut up about the Meepsy. But it's so good. It's such a cute little guy. But yeah, this is about where my board ends up going. I do end up playing, I don't know why I even have the Ornn on this board. I think just because I'm silly to play Bastion here, because I did end up cutting my other Meeple guy. Definitely should have just been one of my my Bastion Meeples. But you know what? I might have been a little bit dizzy because it's playtest. And yeah, I think I'm like, wait a minute. I could just... because I don't think I'm even playing 3 Meeple now because I cut it out on accident earlier. But hey, no harm, no foul. I'm winning the fights, so it's all good here. And what else is all good is that it's a dub. We closed the game out with just the power of Bard. So... really, I mean, my impressions on the set so far, really fun, beautiful art design, really fun units. We'll see how the set mechanic shakes out. I think it's like a lower impact set mechanic, something not super crazy, which I'm fine, especially after how crazy unlocks were. So happy to try that out. Also, if you guys are watching this video, I am probably already live co-streaming the World Championships. So if you're looking for something to watch, link in the description down below. Check out my Twitch. I'm going to be co-streaming that. Come check me out. I think I'm going to be co-streaming with at least Kevin Parker and Demacian Raptor. So that's going to be an absolute blast. So go check out my stream. I'm going to be like duo streaming with them with like the stream together thingy. So come check us out. Thank you guys for watching as always. And this is my first ever, this will go down in the history books. The 28th of March of 2026 is my first ever full-time video. What did you think? Was it 10 times better than my regular videos? I mean, probably not. I mean, I haven't even really I haven't even slept since announcing that I went full time. I slept like 4 hours last night because I was trying to get that video out for you guys, and that deserves a like. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching as always.